Welcome to iSocialTalks, coming to you from a rainy Arizona today. Brian Fanzo, iSocial Fans, and I actually have a unique iSocialTalks for you today. I'm not answering a question, rather elaborating on something or a story that I was kind of telling and sharing last week with a guest for the Twitter chat and Google Plus Hangout that I co-host with Rachel Miller called Social Selling Hour, hashtag SS Hour. And I was discussing the idea that trends and times change, and how amazing it is that social allows us to be connected globally without limitations. So I have to start off this chat by simply saying, Guy Kawasaki, a mentor, a leader, someone that I've looked up to, I'm sorry. Yep, I'm sorry. As a person that had studied and followed Guy Kawasaki and looked up to him from a standpoint of what he had done at Apple, as well as kind of his influence, I over the years, it kind of built up my resume and my goal towards becoming an evangelist and doing part or half of what Guy had actually done at Apple and with Motorola and now with Canva, who I'm representing very nicely here on my shirt. But the reason I'm saying sorry is that I've been a big fan. You're probably like, why would you say you're sorry? Well, it was about 2 years ago. An article came out, and I had been following Guy on social, and he had talked about the reasoning. He was actually posting his Twitter posts, repeating every 8 hours so that he could hit multiple time zones. And I remember thinking about this idea going, he's repeating his tweets for multiple time zones. All he's doing is spamming my Twitter feed. Like, why would he do that? And I even remember at one point thinking, like, man, I'm not sure if he's going to gain followers or lose followers by doing that. So this was about 2 years ago. I remember I read, I think it was a HubSpot article, and then Guy kind of came out with his reasoning and his different approach to social media. And I remember being very adamant that I thought that was a bad idea. 2 years later, so fast forward 2 years later, my life has changed. But I can honestly say that the connections and people that I've met globally, and mainly from the UK, the Middle East, and Australia, have been amazing. I've also had amazing relationships and built up some great dialogue and hopefully some soon-to-be business relationships with some connections I had in Asia-Pac region. And because of that, I've actually gone to the point now where I actually schedule and buffer some of my tweets, not only for other time zones, so tweeting while I'm sleeping, but I actually will set my alarm and try my best to engage or even participate in Twitter chats that are happening in other time zones and in other areas. A big fan of Thomas Powers and what he's doing over there in the UK. Tons of great, amazing people. Andrew Dion in Australia. Big fan of Andy and the APAC Hootsuite team over there. And it's just a testament to the global power of social media and the idea that we're not limited or stuck behind borders or time zones, for that matter. We can engage and create friendships and conversations with people around the world. So with that being said, Guy had it right, which I should have known. I think I've read every single book he's written. Most of the books I don't even have the physical copy of anymore, because I've given that out as loaners to friends and people that I coach or mentor. And I actually have most of them on my iPad, so I do have my iPad full of books. My personal favorite of ones that Guy wrote was Enchantment. Enchantment was definitely one of my favorites, and one that I'm referencing a lot now is Ape, with the kind of the guide for how to publish a book, as someone that is currently in that process. So just a word for the wise and something that you can take away from this. Don't limit yourself to the United States, or maybe you're watching this from another region. The amount of people that I engage with and collaborate with outside of the United States really makes social, to me, the powerful conversation and relationship that it is. If you weren't doing that, if you weren't engaging and you were doing it in your own region, your own area, it kind of limits that power. But I've traveled to 19 plus countries, the Middle East, I've done Hong Kong, Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq, the Middle East. I've done all of those travels. Haven't been to Australia yet, but hopefully soon one day. Maybe to visit Canva. But what I'm saying is, when I traveled, it opened my eyes to amazing cultures and possibility and people. I remember the first time in Korea calling home to my wife and telling her that my mind was blown on how amazing the world was in Korea, and it only grew from there. And I think social also can do those similar things. So I do apologize. I'm sorry, Guy. You were right. The idea of engaging, sharing, and scheduling out your posts to other time zones is really important. I think it's something you need to do. I even have been posting my LinkedIn publisher posts during the UK morning time zone rather than the US time zone, because it's actually less crowded and there's more people that are really looking to engage and that I collaborate with. So it's something, just kind of think of that when you're sharing your time zones. Too many posts out there right now are when's the optimal time to post? Well, it really depends on your community. If your community is night owls like me, maybe your optimal time to post is 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. when all of us are sitting there on our iPads having nothing else better to do. So last but not least, I have to give a shout out to Canva, who Guy Kawasaki now joined as a evangelist, and not only a company that I'm really look up to, but also their tool was amazing. I actually switched it to my homepage because I create Canva graphics so often. So if you're a non-creative like myself, I'm a geek. I like to tweak and mess around, but I wouldn't consider myself a digital creative. Canva really makes me look like a digital creative, which is a testament to how awesome that tool is. So, and they actually are even so awesome that they know how to get customer service. Peg, who everyone knows, Peg, she's a rock star when it comes to really showing that she cares, and send out the nice T-shirt and a card thanking me for being a Canvangelist, as someone that's a big fan of the tool, and Melanie and the CEO and Zach at the company that I've met at Social Media Marketing World. They just are doing great things, so I recommend checking out Canva.com. It's free, and if you end up looking and using some of their graphics, they're $1 a piece. I think now I've done probably 400 different graphics, maybe purchased $35 worth of free graphics and such to kind of really use that tool. So that being said, the takeaway from this is think about other time zones, engage with people across the world, check out Canva.com. When I see Guy Kawasaki in person next time, I will make sure to say this apology face-to-face. And hopefully you enjoyed this iSocialTalks. Please subscribe down there so that you guys get notified on future events. I'll be doing these a little more frequently, so keep your questions coming in. I have a list right now, I think, of 6 questions for 6 upcoming iSocialTalks. So use the hashtag iSocialTalks on all your social medias. And follow me, iSocialFans, on Twitter and all of the social channels. From a rainy Arizona, I wish you a wonderful day, and connect with me no matter where you're at around the globe. Cheers.